Please don't spoil the movie.
by adding your own soundtrack. We're live, baby.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
My name is Leighton Murray.
Leighton Murray. Ooh, that sounds so familiar. Leighton. Where's that from?
What's your name?
My name is Peter Pettigrew.
Oh, Harry Potter. I should have known. I feel like you've done Harry Potter
Probably like
already.
18 times.
Right. Come up with some original content.
It's just like the names just roll off the tongue. That's like the one movie where I know a good amount of people's names. Because usually when I watch movies, I'm like, the guy with the shirt. Or like the guy who did this. But like Harry Potter, I'm like, Neville.
The least you can do.
Yeah. Who is, say it again, Laney?
Leighton Murray.
Ooh, it's like on a...
Segue into Leighton Murray is the character, one of the girls from The Sex Life of College Girls.
Oh, yes! Leighton, yes.
The gay one.
Yes.
News broke today, she's leaving the show.
After they finish filming, or have they not started filming
I think the next season, they said, what I read is she's not going to be a main character. She's going to be in a couple of episodes, and then this will be her last season. Like, what?
Okay, so this upcoming season, she's only going to be...
season 3, she's not going to be like a main character. She'll be in episodes, but like not as like a main character.
What? What's going on?
I feel like she wants to like do other things. I think that's what it is.
But
baby, what? I haven't seen you in anything else outside of the show.
She's a singer. I've seen.
I mean, I think she was on Broadway or something, but not enough.
She did Mean Girls on Broadway.
Not enough. Not enough. I could understand
maybe something behind the scenes.
If you were like in the new Barbie movie or something like that. Like you had something major.
No, I still don't understand that. You can go back and do the show.
Right. It's just like, what have we seen you in during the off season of The Sex Life of College Girls to where you felt like your career is just like blossoming to where you have to leave this show? Because I'm not seeing it, sweetheart.
It must be where the direction they were trying to take her character, and she was like, "No, thank you."
I doubt it. I really think she just like wants to do other stuff, which is, I don't know, kind of a slap in the face, in my opinion. Because you're not doing anything outside of this. We haven't seen you in it. Sure. We don't know you.
I don't know. It has to be something bigger than I want to do other things. They never say the truth.
Huh?
They never say the truth. They'd be like, it was a timing issue, and I'd be like, I don't like anybody.
I feel like this can go one of two ways for her. She can really like take off and become a superstar and launch herself into superstardom, or she can have a real rock bottom moment and we never see her again.
Maybe she doesn't want to be an actress.
I doubt that's the case. I doubt that's the case. What else is going on?
Nothing really. It is the month of July. Everyone's gearing up for the Barbie Oppenheimer. That's how you say it? Standoff? Oppenheimer.
Who even cares about the movie that's not the Barbie movie?
I know.
Who gives a crap? And stop trying to force it down our throats like we actually care. I've seen one commercial for this film once in my entire life. What is it even about? Now I know it's about the atomic bomb. I get it now.
Yeah.
But before last week, who even knew what this movie's about?
I think there's just like a certain group of people who want to see Oppenheimer, and I don't follow them.
Like literally but they're acting like, I could understand if these movies were similar. The type of people that are going to go see the Barbie movie are not the same type of people that are going to go see Oppenheimer. Mm-hmm. They're two different genres of human beings.
I think it's just like maybe two of the biggest films of the summer having to be on the same day.
Oh my God. It doesn't matter what it's, as long as it's about the war, they'll eat it up. It doesn't matter. As long as it's about a freaking war. Oh my God. Best picture at the Oscars. Best original screenplay. Best adaptation of a screenplay. It doesn't matter. As long as it's about freaking World War II or World War I, they love it. They love it.
I do like a good war movie. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I do want to see Josh Peck. Is it Josh Peck? He's in Oppenheimer.
That's what you say.
Yeah, he is. I looked it up the other day. That's what you say. Yeah, I do say that, and it's correct. Thank you.
I can't believe. I can't even. I think he would be more suited to be in the Barbie movie. I think that makes more sense.
I don't know. They didn't ask him.
Have you been binging anything?
Have I? No, not really. I've been chill on the shows. I feel like I watched. I feel like it's been so long. No, I'm not really watching anything right now. I did see me, Chancellor bootleg the new Guardians of Galaxy that came out a while ago.
Oh.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I feel like I can't. I loved that film series, but I feel like ever since they started,
it's annoying.
they got into the Avengers, and then I won't be able to understand.
It's so annoying because I'm literally like, oh, she's good. The blue girl. I'm like, oh, she's good
good now, right?
And then I'm like, wait, so what happened?
Sister, right?
And I'm like, what happened to the green girl?
She wasn't in it.
Apparently, am I gonna spoil something?
I already know, but I don't want to hear you say it.
Well, apparently, she gets, I don't know, her new version of her doesn't remember. It didn't come from this realm, so she's not.
Oh, there's
with
a new version of her.
You won't let me tell you. So you won't let me tell you what happened. So
I get she dies in one of the Avengers.
She dies, and I guess they go back in time and bring her back to life, or a version of her, or like her from a different, universe. But the one she comes from, she never joined the Guardians of the Galaxy, so she's not hanging out with them. She hangs out. I mean, she hangs out with them in this movie, but like she's not part of their crew.
Got it.
So I'm just like all this. I just want to watch a series of movies without having to watch
the 25 Avenger films.
And I did like Guardians of the Galaxy.
I loved the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Because you didn't have to watch the rest of them.
Yeah, because you didn't have to watch the Avengers, but now to understand Guardians of the Galaxy, you gotta watch the Avengers.
And I really want to know.
And I feel like it's the same with Doctor Strange, because I saw the first Doctor Strange, and I was like, this is fantastic stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
But now,
I feel like Doctor Strange pulls it all together. He's got the little.
Does it? I don't know. I wouldn't even know because I've never seen any of the Avengers.
I don't know. In my head, I haven't seen either. To me, in my head, he pulls the whole supernatural forward backward universe thing together.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought that was Iron Man.
I feel like he's the key.
He holds the key.
But yeah.
All in all, a good film.
It was pretty good. Minus the whole. I gotta watch 8 movies to
understand what's going on in this one film.
Yes, but I am excited. Speaking on Marvel movies, I am excited for the new Deadpool and X-Man guy Wolverine.
Yeah. I feel like that's a movie you don't have to see 25 of these
because he doesn't hang out with them, and I swear he doesn't hang out with them.
That's not his people.
Yeah,
it's not his people.
So I'm really excited for that. I love Deadpool. He's like my favorite.
And I also read that Jennifer Gardner is going to be in the movie playing Elektra. Don't know who that is.
Elektra.
And apparently she's reprising her role. So she's done this movie before.
It's not from Fantastic Four. Jennifer
Gardner. Ben Stiller? Not Ben Stiller. Ben Affleck's ex-wife.
Jennifer.
America's Sweetheart.
She was a superhero?
I don't know. She was in some film entitled Elektra, and 20 years ago.
Oh, yes.
You know that movie?
You know it. You've seen it.
I've never
seen it.
Here,
I'll show you the poster.
No, I've looked it up.
Oh, you don't remember this?
Like, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I don't really recall watching the movie that much, but I've probably seen it. But yes, I know what she's talking about. Oh, I didn't know that was a superhero. I just thought that was like
just random.
Like an action movie.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was a superhero.
Well, apparently she's coming back, which I like because, usually in Hollywood, they'll just, recast someone who's 18. But no.
Yeah.
They're doing it the unpopular way.
Yes, which is nice because you don't really see her in much.
I know, we don't, and I love her.
She's on an Apple show Mom was watching.
Oh,
but yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mom was watching.
I forgot what it's called, but yeah, don't really see as much.
It's
nice to see older women play action roles.
Yes, we love to see it.
Because the men get to be old and...
Right, the men get to be...
old and superheroes.
60, but you've got to be 22...
to be a female.
To play a grandmother. It's crazy.
Also, everybody, take the time out right now to write a review.
Like, rate,
subscribe, download,
comment.
Right?
Even if it's a bad comment.
Give me 5 freaking stars right now. Do it. Oh, I have something that I just thought about if you wanted to update the people with.
What's that?
The guy you saw at Ace Hotel.
Oh, it wasn't the Ace. So for all of you the 5 of you that listen, Essence Festival was this past weekend.
4th of July weekend.
So not this past weekend. The weekend before that. And so the mayor was having...
I was like, wait, what? Oh, I forgot. Okay,
yeah. The mayor had like a party to kick off, Essence Fest weekend. It was on a Thursday, and I didn't have practice that night. Usually I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't this night. So I went with one of my former teammates, Chauncey. to the party. And if you guys remember from, was this our last episode we talked about this?
I think so.
One of our episodes,
if not the last episode,
if not Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, whatever episode we did before that, First Wives Club, maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at the party with my friend, if you guys remember, I was telling you about the horrific experiences that I've been having with men, and how one of the guys I was talking to, who worked at Dillard with me, horrible human being, worked at Dillard with me, then moved to DC, and then ultimately ghosted me. Like a thief in the night. So while I was at that party, you know, I'm with Chauncey. We're having a good time. Yada, yada, yada. I turn and, well, actually before that. So I was talking to this woman who turns out to be Auntie Sue's niece. So our aunt's niece.
Oh, who? Do we know?
No. Oh, okay. Mom was literally telling me about her for the first time ever the day of the party. Oh. And then I so happened to meet her that night.
Auntie Sue's niece on whose side?
It's like her step niece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, anywho, so I'm talking to my aunt's step niece. And I'm like meeting her, and she is living in DC and she works at the White House. And I'm like, oh, you know what? That's so crazy. And at this point, I'm drunk. I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy. I was talking to a guy who worked at the White House, but girl, he ghosted me. And I was like, do you know him? And then she was like, I don't know, maybe. What's his name? I was like, oh, his name's And then she was like, oh, do you have a picture of him? I was like, no, but. And then as I said that, I looked up and I was like, well, that's crazy because he's right there.
Wait, that's hilarious.
And
you summoned him.
Yeah, I literally summoned him with my witch powers. And I'm like, wow, there he is right there in the flesh, looking a burger away from obese. The audacity of him to be there in my presence.
Not a burger away from obese.
You know, and that just goes to show how kind I am, because I was talking to him. And he is not in the best shape of his life.
That's how what you are?
How kind of a person I
am. Voice of the people. Thomas.
And we literally walked past each other like 4 different times. Mm-hmm. Do you think he spoke to me?
Did he tell me?
How childish is that? And before y'all go thinking, well, you could have spoke to him. No, I'm not the one who got ghosted. If anybody needs to make amends here, it's him.
Who's thinking that? Question mark.
I don't know. No one's thinking that? Okay, great. I hope not. So, yeah, we walked past each other like 4 different times. And did you think he spoke to me once? No. So I spit on his grave. A plague upon both his houses.
A plague upon both his houses.
But yes. Jesus. And then lastly, what I've been binging. So I think they took The Rise of the Pink Ladies off of Paramount Plus.
Already?
So I never got to finish it. I'm really upset about that.
Sorry for your loss. It's not anywhere?
I tried. Literally, it was like the next day. I tried. It was like gone. And it said it wasn't going to be taken down for at least like another 2 days or like 3 days. Uh-huh. But the next day when I tried to watch it, it was like gone. And then I tried to Google where else can I watch it? And it was saying Amazon like Prime or Amazon Video. But then when I tried to watch it via the link that they had, it was like, can't get to this page.
Maybe they're trying to work out the contract. Hopefully.
Or maybe it just doesn't exist.
I don't
How do you erase something completely just from existence?
It's always crazy when I always think it's crazy when TV shows do that. When like that RuPaul episode.
I've never heard of that ever.
Remember that RuPaul episode when they like maked over the guys and one of the contestants really didn't like it and they scrubbed it from the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
And I really want to see it.
I do want to see it too.
Also, someone was telling me how I went to Oceana Grill this weekend, and apparently they were on one of Gordon Ramsay. The bar.
Oceana Grill.
Yeah. I think it was like Disaster Kitchen or something like that. And like they came and reviewed it and said like this was a disaster kitchen, but they were saying like it had rats and stuff. But it's like it's in the French. Everyone has rats.
Every restaurant in the French.
But apparently
has
Oceana
rats.
Grill sued them, and then got that episode scrubbed from like everything.
Oh, really?
Like what my thing is, did y'all not know y'all was signing up for Disaster Kitchen, or did they just?
What did y'all think this was?
Right? Or did Gordon Ramsay say I'm doing a show? Because Maybe. Because, I mean, he does have a lot of shows.
They must have tricked them.
They must have tricked him. But, like, obviously, if it says the Disaster Kitchen.
It wasn't going to pan out well for you guys.
But maybe he tricked them. But, like, come on, dude. It's the middle of the French Quarter. Everyone got rats, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So don't, like,
it's a card that you have to deal with.
Yeah. Even a Court of Two Sisters has rats. I met a girl who worked there. She was like filled with rats, and I was like,
what rats?
Filled with rats.
Filled with rats. Oh God. Oh, jeez.
And that's a nice place if you don't know. It's like a lovely brunch.
Filled
brunch
with rats. Filled with it. Oh God.
She was funny. She was a funny girl. I was I was getting my hair braided. And the girl had like a friend that came to help do the braids. Mm-hmm. And somehow we got on the topic of all the places she worked and how she scammed and got money out of each company.
Each restaurant?
Yes, how she stole money. Like how she got, like once she gets in there, she can't help herself. She's like, she just like figures out a system to steal.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, girl, good for you. But I don't know, she was saying how like she blew all the money. She was like, I could be like a
thousandaire right now.
But she was like, I blew all the money.
Did she ever get caught?
Yeah, but not like legally. They would like, or she would like quit, or they would fire her, but not like legally.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, she would
well,
get
at
caught.
least that's good.
Yeah,
I knew about a girl who went to high school with me. I think she was like 2 grades underneath me, and she worked at Steve Madden. Mm-hmm. And she used to steal out of the register, and then one day, the cops came and arrested her. So yeah. Your friend's lucky.
Well, I feel like she did it locally. I feel like Steve Madden, they got the lawyers to do that. Also, I don't think they ever were ever.
I mean, she was working in Lakeside Mall,
right? But Steve Madden,
so
it's not owned by the Lakeside. It's not owned by the company. Like that is like, it's just like stealing from Target. Like they gonna get you, but I don't know. I feel like she was stealing from all these companies, and I don't think they exactly knew how she was doing it, but they knew money was missing. They knew she was doing it, but that's crazy. Did she go to jail?
She was arrested. I don't. That's as far as I know with the story.
I wonder how much she stole.
Enough to where they needed to arrest her. She had been working there for a while. Oh. And then also, I finished watching The Idol.
Oh, Amber said that it was bad. What'd you say? She told me to hate watch it.
I don't know. It's just, I think I finished it in like one night. There's only 5 episodes. So I didn't know if it was supposed to like, did it end because everyone was saying it was so terrible?
I think that's part of it.
Or was it always supposed to be a miniseries or what? But I don't know. It has its moments where I was like, the dialogue's kind of stupid. Mm-hmm. Like the dialogue was just like really, it just felt really like elementary. Like, I don't know. And then anytime The Weeknd came on the screen, I was like, God, spare me.
I feel like it did, from the sounds of it, it didn't live up to an HBO original show.
It was just like, it was shows. Like, I mean, I watched it. I don't know how to feel about it. Like,
Did you want more?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Did you see?
It wasn't great, okay? Like, I'm trying to, like, there was moments where I was like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Like, what's gonna happen here? And then there was other times where I was just like, this is making me uncomfortable. Because at parts
it's too cringy.
No, at parts it was like, soft porn.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, God. And I don't know, I think the biggest crime was the rat tail.
Mm-hmm. I freaking hate a rat tail. It's disgusting.
I was like, why does he have this ponytail? And then, I was never a fan of The Weeknd before this. I think he's a coon. I don't like his music. I think it's very slow and boring. So now watching him as this character, this is the only way I will ever be able to see him moving forward in life. I will always see him as this
Unfortunately,
man.
I think a lot of people will.
With this rat tail who abuses women, and his name is Tetros.
Okay, I will say that I love The Weeknd when he first came out, Party After Party, or Party After Party, whatever album that was. 10 out of 10. That was the only Weeknd I loved. When he started getting poppy, it was terrible. But did you see the original looks? Like they were going to take this show
Yes,
before?
that's what I was about to say.
How do you feel about that?
It was giving like Lizzie McGuire. I was like, okay, what y'all have now is too dark, but what y'all had then it was too happy-go-lucky for HBO.
I thought it could have been good. They could have took it like in like a Britney Spears type of, like, maybe. Realistically, this is how it goes. Because I feel like the way they were going, I'm sure that happens, but it just seems like too. But I feel like the Britney Spears, like taking a child and abuse is more realistic.
That's what they should have done. And the guy who does Euphoria,
and people are dragging him.
Yeah.
Dragging him. They're like, stop
touching stuff.
Stop him from putting women on the screen because he just abuses them. Let him deal with men.
Yeah, it was an at the end she stays with him, so that was That was the biggest crime after the rat tail, of course.
Yeah. I feel like I hate to say this. I feel like that's something that may more happen with rappers. It seems like, like I don't know, like you get the BBL, you get an abusive boyfriend.
She doesn't get a BBL.
No, I'm saying the way they were going. No, she doesn't. But I feel like if he was a rapper and she was like a rapper's girlfriend, you get like the BBL and you become a rap career and you become super sexual or like you're a female rapper and then you come out normal and they trying to sexualize you.
I don't know, but I will say
I don't know.
Her hair was, I don't know why they didn't give her extensions. That was the biggest crime of the show was the hair. Everybody's hair. His rat tail, she didn't have any extensions and her hair was short and thin. I was like, what kind of pop star doesn't have extensions in her hair? So, I don't know.
One last thing. Jonah Hill. Have you been saying this development?
I haven't really looked into it, but yeah, I've heard that his girlfriend, who's like 25, she's like, he's controlling me. And then the texts are like, you can't have friends, you can't post pictures on Instagram, don't breathe, don't look left or right.
She's apparently a surfing trainer. He's like, don't post pictures in the bathing suit, don't wear a bathing suit. Like, don't post pictures in the bathing suit, but she's a surfing trainer.
That's
don't
even more
train
crazy.
Men. You know, most of them are men.
No, not don't train men.
Like, if you have to have a conversation with a man, it needs to be hi, bye. Nothing serious. And he's like,
and these are my boundaries.
These are my boundaries. No. Those aren't boundaries. Those are rules.
Those are, in fact,
boundaries
controls.
But boundaries are something you place on yourself. When you start putting those on other people, those are rules. Those
are these are demands.
Yes.
That you
set boundaries for yourself. You don't set boundaries for other people. Those are rules. And it was funny because they were bringing up the fact that, I don't know if you noticed, if you saw it, but he has like a documentary type vibe thing with his therapist. And on Netflix.
Interesting.
And he like, I don't know, interviews his therapist and talks about how like he
interviews his therapist?
Yeah, like they have a conversation how he helped him so much.
Oh, interesting.
But now a lot of people are really like, like sociopaths. They go to therapists and they learn how to be better like manipulators and things like that. And people are like,
oh, I've never heard that logic, but
for example, last thing. What's that show called? With a mob. The Sopranos. Tony Soprano went to a therapist. Okay. And some people were talking about how it's not a good for, and he's kind of like a sociopath. Okay. He's a murderer and he justifies all these killings that he does. And they say it's not a good idea for a sociopath or like a person who's naturally a manipulator go to a therapist because they learn what to say and what to do to like get out of things. They just learn how to better be a sociopath. And they were like trying to compare that to like the fact that he's so into his therapist. He's kind of using therapist language on her. He's like therapizing her.
He's using tricks of the trade.
Right. He's trying to make it sound so, this is my boundaries and I need you to do this. Right. And if you want to be, if this is what I require for love, like it's, you could do whatever you want to do.
Therapy words.
But this is what I require. No, baby, that's what you require. And the door's right there.
The door is that way. And then that reminds me. Our girl Kiki.
Woo!
First of all, the
tweet.
Just text her.
Text her.
Like, I don't get it. Okay, whatever. Let's say
he was upset.
If y'all are in a relationship, that's your baby mama, he your baby daddy, his thoughts, feelings, opinions are valid, yada, 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 yada. If he didn't like the outfit, why didn't you text her? Hey, you literally could have texted, yo, you a whole mom, that outfit though. You could have texted her that.
Which also wasn't the problem. The outfit wasn't the problem.
Also, she was fully covered. I was like, the outfit is like literally one of the most.
Outfit is not the problem.
We've seen her wear way more risque.
Yes.
So obviously the outfit wasn't the problem. But whatever you were upset about.
But you could be mad. You could be low-key mad that she was dancing up on Usher.
Sure, whatever. I guess.
But the fact that you didn't say that, and the fact that you tweeted it is crazy.
It's just like, you should have known the era that we are in today.
Drag.
That no one was going to support you on this. This is not the era we're in. This is not 1991 anymore. No one is going to be like, oh yeah, man, you're right. They are going to read you to filth. You talk about women?
Yes.
You're getting your shit
as you deserve.
Handed to you. Right.
And not only...
What did you think was going to come out of this?
Not only is she a free-thinking woman, she's the breadwinner of this family.
Period.
The lane is back there, honey.
Period.
She can wear the hell
And you know what I didn't know? He's the brother to the dude that used to be on like Insecure. That like really tall one.
Oh, Lawrence?
No.
The main guy? No,
not Lawrence. The really tall one. I think
the
he dated
light-skinned
Molly
one.
or whatever.
Yes,
the
gross. Oh, well, I didn't like him. Yeah,
that's his brother.
Oh, got it.
But anywho, why did he think that was okay? And then now I will say, not to get on Kiki's whatever. You know, they scrubbed each other of social media, blah, blah, blah. She made a TikTok about him. She's been doing her own little press tour. She better be careful. Because now she cannot get back with him. She's doing all of this.
She's not.
They just had that baby. They're going to get back together.
If he apologizes to the public, I'll allow it.
No, she's literally, as soon as I was like, she needs to be careful about what she doing, what she say, because I know she's going to get back together with him.
Right. But I felt that they were already, I was like, they had to be already broken up before this Usher concert. I think they were already broken up.
Maybe.
And I think that just put the icing on the cake.
Maybe so.
I think they were already broken up.
Because if they were together, he would have not have done something that's stupid.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think they were already broken up.
They're still going to get back together, though.
Yeah, well, maybe. The
baby's too fresh.
The baby is too fresh, but I feel like when you're a celebrity, do I really need to see this person? Do I need to contact you? Do I need your money? I don't. I'm Keke Palmer. Literally, I can keep it moving.
Literally.
You have to text me to come see this baby. Here's the baby. I'll be back in 2 hours.
Right.
Bye.
We can have a nanny to handle all of
I feel like, I don't know.
I will say, it's just like, it's just like, we didn't have to know about any of this. Like, this could have gone completely under the radar. But he put his foot in his mouth. And then, did you see his old tweets from like 2016?
Ooh, yeah.
Somebody I followed was like, you should have just shut the hell up. and kept your comments to yourself, because look at you now.
Yeah, and then at first, that first tweet, he was like, you're a whole mama. I thought he was joking. I thought it was like, okay, maybe he's joking. This is how they joke. But then, he did that follow.
Yeah.
He doubled down. I was like, oh, he for real.
He's serious.
Because I think we could have slipped under the radar with the whole, I think it could have been like, was that a joke? Was he serious to be for the rest of our lives? But he doubled down with that.
Yeah. It's like, why did you think that was smart? Oh, it was so stupid. One of the stupidest things I've ever seen. But I will say, I'm surprised at how like big of a conversation it's become.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Like it's a really big conversation. I was like, wow.
Oh, we were bored. The world was bored.
Yeah, we needed something. I was like, wow, we're really like, everyone's really involved in this.
Yes.
So,
it's a battle of the patriarchy.
It really is.
Because men coming out of the woodwork, she shouldn't wear that, and women are like, this is not the 1950s, sir.
Yeah, we're past that. Yeah, way past that.
Whew. Jade, I think we started off slow and then we got the ball.
Yeah, we really did.
How did we do this? Let's talk about the movie we're doing today, you guys. Let's talk about what we're here for.
Let's think about twins. But they're not twins in this movie. Let's think about genes.
Okay.
And them being incredibly strong.
DNA.
Let's think about divorce. Let's think about marital and parental relationships. Mm-hmm. Let's think about dead moms. Let's think about the fountain of youth.
Okay.
The aging process. Let's think about young love.
Aww.
Let's think about first loves. Let's think about 2 different generations. Mm-hmm. And let's think about DNA. And that brings us to, drumroll please, 17 again.
The black version.
The 2000 version.
Yes.
The one where 17 is spelled out.
I like how that's like how they're like.
That's the identifier.
Yes.
Not the one.
In case you want to watch
Efron.
it, this movie is basically available everywhere, including YouTube.
Literally for free.
Yes, so check it out.
Ugh. I was about to say a YouTuber. A podcaster's best dream.
Yes.
Because I can't stand it when it's like on one thing that you have to pay for.
I know. God. So we got to go back to the originals, baby.
Yes. Okay. Summary. While divorced and bickering grandparents are in town visiting their family and grandchildren, played by Tia and Tamera Mowry. Willie is his character's name. Lab experiment goes awry and transforms the elderly grandparents into the teenage version of themselves. Pretty straightforward film.
Yes.
Okay, the movie had literally nothing. To where I didn't even feel it necessary to write anything down. I literally just made up that summary. So
they're all. I didn't realize that was their little brother.
You didn't?
I did not know that.
You knew that?
Nope.
You never knew in life that was their little brother.
If I did, I forgot. I forgot.
You forgot because at one point you knew it.
Are you gonna tell us where these people are from and popular shows at least?
Sure. Okay. But wait.
Okay. I guess I'm first. I wasn't sure.
The film is the made-for-television film. It first aired on Showtime.
Right. It was not a Disney original.
Yes. I did not know that. First aired on of all the channels. Showtime.
Maybe
like ABC.
Maybe back then it was not.
There's no way.
Because right now, I don't know, Showtime's a little...
Yeah, it's
HBO-y.
very dark. Yeah.
But maybe back then they were just, up and coming.
I doubt it. So the film first aired on Showtime, November 12th, 2000. And then later, the film was included as a bonus feature on Sister Sister.
Oh, what does that mean?
The film is directed by Jeffrey W. Bird, and written by Stuart St. John. Okay, yes. Then the movie was produced by Boyz II Men member Sean Scottman.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
And then also served as the film's music composer.
Solid.
And then filming took place in, can you guess?
Canada.
Of course. Filming took place in Toronto and Ontario, Canada.
It's Canadian.
Yeah, that's about it.
What about these people's backstories?
I'm gonna.
Okay. You said that was about it. You just said that.
Before I got to the cast. That was about it for all that side crap.
Okay, got it.
Cast includes Tia Mowry and Tamera Mowry from the hit show Sister, which also was not a Disney Channel.
Which
TV
I learned
show.
that too. What the hell?
I knew that.
I didn't know that.
It just rerun on there for like 10 years.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Never knew how much I missed you.
And then, so Tia Mowry is playing Sydney, which is the daughter in the film. And then Tamera is playing the young grandmother, Kat.
Now remind me. Tia on Sister was the smart one.
Yes.
And Tamera was like the
dumb one.
Not the dumb one.
But she was dumb.
I guess, yeah. But she was like more like the impulsive and like
rebellious
one. But I mean, obviously, I wouldn't call you dumb, but I'm Tia. You're Tamera.
Correct. But
I wouldn't call myself that smart either. But she's more like put together.
Yeah,
like,
she's more,
yeah,
straight narrow.
Yeah.
And then, so Taj Mowry plays Willie Donovan, the little brother from the hit show Smart House.
Love.
Was Smart House a Disney Channel movie?
I don't think it was.
It was not. Wait, was it?
I don't think it was. I think it was a rerun thing too.
Sitcom. Blah, 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 blah. The series ran for 3 seasons on the W. And then the series was produced. It wasn't. It ran on the W. They aired it on Disney.
Which is so crazy. Is that racist? Disney? Answer for your crimes. Why were the black shows somewhere else? I don't know.
Who knows? Okay. And then Hope Clark as Grandma Catherine, so the older version.
Cat.
Mm-hmm. And then Robert Hooks as Grandpa Eugene.
Just want to point out
Donovan.
You just said mm-hmm. I just want to point that out. That you hate so much that I just did it.
I don't think I did that.
I don't
think that happened.
I did.
And then Mark Taylor as young Grandpa Gene Donovan, the hottest man to ever walk the face of the earth.
He came and he vanished off the face of the earth. Where is he, Lord Jesus?
Why haven't we seen... He literally could have been a Will Smith. He's so stunning. Literally, I would pay to see him in anything.
Someone put him on the front of a magazine. What the hell?
Why is he not in more things? Why was this the one thing he was in? Shameful.
Why, Lord?
Shameful. And then Merwin Maddenser, who cares, as Todd, a boy who Sydney has a crush on.
He's so cute. He reminds me of somebody. I can't think of it.
And then Mia Campbell as Ashley, Todd's older
Beautiful.
sister. Mia Campbell was also in South Central, which is a comedy drama that had like one season. And then In the House, which was like a black sitcom that aired from
In the House
95 to 1999.
You know who's on the show? In the House? Carlton.
Oh,
Yeah, funny.
well,
Look at
that's
him.
weird. Are you sure?
I'm looking at the photo right here.
Flip the screen.
Fuck you. That's him right there. And LL Cool J.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And this girl, the girl that's not Ashley from... This girl looks familiar, so maybe I have seen
She's
the
one
show.
of Wayne's sisters. She's
Oh,
the only
interesting.
Wayne sister.
Oh, what's she up to? Not important.
nothing.
We'll come back to that.
Right.
I'll do research on my own time.
But yes, that's the cast, and that's about it. That's all I've got for you folks.
All right, Jay. Let's dive on in.
Ooh, I'm about to.
Hey.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in.
Yo. So the movie begins with 12-year-old boy genius
Willie, played by Taj Mowry.
Woo. In his science lab, and he's video chatting with scientists from all over the world.
One's from China, one's from Germany, and the other one's from England.
Okay, cool.
What I took, it's very funny because they all had their nation's flag in the background.
Oh, okay. I did not notice that.
I was like, is this to indicate? I was like, we can tell
Yes.
that they're international. Like, we didn't need everyone's flag in the background.
So as you can tell, he's very important. And Willie the team is working on an aging formula. And currently, I believe they're testing it on plants to make them last longer.
Yeah.
So Willie is running some tests to see if the formula works on his plants, but the experiment goes wrong when it starts to smoke up, and he adds water, which makes the smoke even bigger, and it fills the whole garage, and it causes the fire department to come out. While that is going on, Willie's stepmom, Monique, is at the hair salon with her mother-in-law, Catherine. We call her Kat. As she's in town visiting their new home, as they just moved to Connecticut from California.
How did you know they moved to Connecticut?
I don't know. They said that in
Wikipedia. Right. Because I was like, where are they living?
Yeah.
They keep on talking about the new town, how they moved from California. I was like, can anybody tell us where you are now?
That's what Wikipedia said, which I trust it.
I guess.
Connecticut.
It could be
Or
anywhere.
we'd be super accurate and we could say Canada.
I was thinking New Jersey.
Ew. God.
Jersey. So, they're at the hair salon and they're talking yada yada yada, and then once they're done getting their like hair and nails and makeup done,
Period.
they're walking out of the salon, and what's her name? Monique. The stepmother is basically asking her how does she feel about her ex-husband Gene coming into town, and then she goes on like a tyrant talking garbage about him. She was like, that troll,
Selfish.
that
idiot.
monster, he's
Clown.
selfish.
He has a small
No
penis.
weapons formed against me shall prosper.
Yeah,
She's
does
like
say
quoting the Bible.
Don't say that.
She's doing a lot.
Yeah, so this is clearly the first time they've seen each other in years, honey. But she still made it a point to look her best because she's got her hair and nails done.
I didn't really think about that.
And meanwhile, they're meeting up. The kid's dad, Barry, is in the car with his father, Gene, and he's also talking crap about Kat and how he's not happy that she's in town, and had he known she was going to be in town the same time he was in town, he would have changed the time that he came in town.
Right. He was like, I wouldn't even be coming to see y'all had I known she was up in here.
But back at the house, the firemen have arrived. They break into the garage to save Willie from his own experiment in the smoke. And while inside, Willie accidentally spills the aging formula onto the box of
Just
soap.
a box of soap that they
have two boxes of soap.
just like bulk size box of soap.
What are y'all doing with all that soap?
Why do we need all this soap?
It's like Costco brand, but times
Right. It's like
even bigger than
You've
that.
never seen this bunch of soap ever.
And this many boxes. Like, Jesus.
So he spills the anti-aging formula onto the soap. Then while he's outside, the fire department, they're all out there. And then Barry and Gene arrive to the scene and they're like, what's going on? What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
And then Willie's like, I'm fine, I was just testing out my experiments.
You know how I do, Daddy-o.
And then so while, the dad, Barry, is kind of scolding Willie. He's like, how could you let this happen? And he's like, where's your sister Sydney? And then emerges Sydney as she comes downstairs. She had no idea what was going on.
Way too late.
Like, she comes down, she's like, well, what's all of this?
Like, girl, you could have been dead in the garage.
In the garage, burnt up with smoke. And then Sydney's like, what's all of this? And then Barry's like, why weren't you watching him? She was like, I don't know.
This man is grown. He's smarter than me. I can't watch this child.
And then so while her dad is kind of scolding her for not paying attention, she kind of ignores him and she, embraces her grandfather. And she's like, hey, Grandpa, good to see you. And then he says something to the effect of like, oh my goodness, Sydney, you look so much like your grandmother. Aww. Thank God you have none of her personality.
And then he drags her again. How she's literally terrible on the inside.
Right. He's like, you look beautiful just like her on the outside, but thank God you're nothing like her on the inside because she's a monster.
It's terrible. And then eventually, Kat and Monique arrive, and they're wondering what's going on, and also happy to see their grandkids.
So it's one big dysfunctional family. Everybody's arrived to the hysteria of the garage being covered in smoke.
Mm-hmm. And then at this time, Barry takes, obviously he forbids Willie from doing more experiments until he learns how to be more responsible, because he really could have killed himself. Who knows what these chemicals are, man?
Right. So while they're in the garage assessing the damage, Monique tells Willie to grab the boxes of soap that the aging formula has spilled onto and bring it up to the grandparents' bathroom,
because they're gonna need all that soap right here.
Yeah.
They're gonna need all the soap. And then Sydney has gone off to work.
Oh yeah, Sydney's dipped out. She's going to work. And then so everyone kind of disperses, and then Kat and Jean are left alone in the garage together. And then Jean already is like on some stuff, and he's like, so you ain't gonna talk to me the whole time we here? And then she was like, how can I not talk to you when you're in my face? And then they're just going back and forth. You can clearly tell that they have some sexual tension, if you ask me. I was like, why don't y'all just jump each other's bones already?
Yeah.
But they're going back and forth, and they acting like they hate each other, but it's like, oh, y'all are still very much in love.
They clearly have some unresolved issues from like 20 years ago. Like, guys.
It's very much like
they don't even have anything.
They need to unpack some stuff.
Because there can't be anything current that you guys are mad about, because you haven't seen each other in years.
Right. So it's just like,
y'all haven't got over it?
Let's just assess the situation and figure what this is all about.
They turn their love into hatred to survive. You know how that goes. So we see Sydney, who has arrived at her job at a grocery store, and she's hanging out with her new friend Julie, who I love. Julie is very
she's eccentric.
She's into like tarot cards and
the Mercury's in retrograde.
Yes. And
your zodiac sign, your Earth rising and a moon falling.
I love Julia. She's got good energy. Means. She does say one part that was interesting. She was like, I feel that your future, or like, I feel like something exciting and interesting is gonna happen.
Oh, she says that?
Yeah, something like that.
I missed that part.
Yeah, she says that. And it's like,
look, she can tell.
Wink, wink. Something is exciting.
She could read the future.
And Sydney's basically talking about how she's missing LA and how...
She's like, if you think this store is fast, just think about how fast everything was in LA. If you think this person is cool, just imagine how cool the people were in LA. When I was in LA, I'm like, girl, shut the hell up. And then Julie's just basically like, Sydney, I get it.
Let it go.
Things were fun in LA. But she's like, you can have fun here too. There's a lot of cool people. There's a lot of cool things to do. And then once she says that,
Julie.
Emerges Todd, Sydney's crush.
Cutie patootie.
And he walks into the store. And Julie and Sydney are taken aback by his gorgeousness.
Googly eyeing him.
He looks like he's about 30.
He does look kind of old.
I was like,
but he's like a jock.
Still.
He has a Letterman jacket on.
Yeah.
He probably plays like rugby. I'm just making things up.
I'm like, rugby.
Rugby, a little soccer inside.
So he walks in and they're eyeing him, but he eyeing them back, high key, low key. And they make kind of like googly eyes at each other. And Julie is just like, he's so cute. He's in our computer class, blah, 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 blah.
Computer class.
But she's gonna introduce themselves?
I guess. She just.
Well, while they're gawking at him, emerges this wannabe black,
Malibu most wanted.
Think Malibu most wanted white boy. And he comes up to Sydney. He's like,
Girl, you must have wished upon a star, because tonight is your luckiest night by far.
Oh, please.
So seriously, to the
Oh, my God.
girl who is so funny, how'd you like to roll with Mr. Milk and Honey?
Milk and honey.
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
I do not joke when it matters of the heart.
He's like putting the Mac down on her.
He's like putting the Mac down on her. You know the Mac.
I feel like that's something that he would say.
It is what he's doing.
And then he's like, hey, girl. And then she's like, you can't be serious right now. And then he's like, I don't play when it comes to matters of the heart.
Oh,
and then he's like, I really want to take you on a date. My name is Terrence. And then Julie's like, okay, well, my shift is over, so I'm leaving.
No, Sydney says that.
Oh, yeah. Julie is like, okay, bye. And then Sydney's like, my shift is over. I'm leaving. Gotta get away from him.
Yes.
So Sydney scurries off home.
Back at the house, Gene goes up to Willie while he's on his laptop and he's doing some scientist skills. So since since he can no longer do like real experiments. And Gene is so nice to gift Willie with a science lab coat as inspiration, to keep up the hard work. You're doing great. You're literally a born genius. Don't stop what you're doing. So the next scene, we see the family is gathered around the dinner table and it's dinner time and they say grace and Gene makes another dig at Kat saying like, I'm glad everyone's here, even the people who weren't invited or something like that. And Kat, I think she tries to talk about what he just said, but he brushes her off. And Jean asks Sydney how she feels about the new town. And once again, she expresses how much she hates it. She doesn't like it. It's not for her. It's a boring, sleepy town. She's used to lively LA, period. And then soon after that, somehow Jean and Kat start arguing again.
Because Jean, they're both trying to give Sydney advice on like how to acclimate to the new town. And then Kat says something to the effect of, you've got to make the most out of it and use this as a positive experience. And then Jean basically is like, oh, your grandmother is right for a change. And then she's like, right for a change? And he's like, excuse me, your grandmother is correct for the first time ever in her entire life. And then, of course, that escalates and it becomes a big old hoopla. Drama. And they are bickering from across the table.
To the point that they excuse themselves. They're like, we got to go.
And then, so while they're bickering, ring, Monique, the stepmother, gets a phone call. And somebody, I don't remember who.
It's her sister.
How do you know it's her sister?
She said Aunt Roses is having a
That could be anybody.
That
could be anybody.
Their aunt. It's her sister. Why else? It's her sister.
It could have been Barry's sister.
It's Monique's sister. Barry wasn't into it. It's Monique's sister.
Anywho, so ring. Someone is having a baby.
Monique's sister.
Monique's sister is having a baby. And because she's having a baby, Barry and Monique have to go back to California for the birth.
Yes, we promised her that we're going to be there
because
for the birth.
Because they promised Aunt
Cynthia
that
we're going to be there for the birth.
That they would be there for
we didn't know the baby was going to come early. She's 2 weeks early. She's never been on time for anything in her life, she says.
So while they are in their room packing, Sydney is in their room and is just like, so y'all expect me and Willie to stay here with our grandparents who hate each other? And they're just like, this is the best we can do. We didn't expect for her to have the baby so early. We're sorry. And then so Sydney pulls her dad aside and is basically like, why every time Monique tell you to do something, you jump? And he's like, what? She's like, every time she tells you to do something, you do it.
She gotta be the reason they moved to Connecticut. She gotta be.
Gotta be. I wonder why. And then, side note, the house that they live in,
beautiful,
gigantic,
gorgeous.
Look, what do y'all do?
Well, they definitely. If Monique wasn't the reason why they moved there, it was probably to get better value on their homes because I'm sure they couldn't afford that in California.
Sure couldn't. They're living in a mansion.
Yeah, living in a very big mansion.
Honestly, when I was watching it, I was like, what is the need for them to be living in this large of a home?
But freaking all movies, which drives me insane, even movies based in New York, they had to make these people live in these homes that just aren't imaginable. I don't know. I feel like the everyday person.
Even I feel like movies like this, they always live in like a regular like middle class home. They're living.
You think?
They're living with the 1%ers of Connecticut.
Yeah. Well,
They're living in like a 10-square-foot house, 10,000 square foot house. It's huge.
I don't know. I feel like movies and stuff do that.
When she was coming down the steps after she turned young again, I was like, look at this ceiling. It was a spiral staircase. Do you know how large of a home you have a spiral staircase?
Spiral.
Just spiral?
Right.
But anywho, back to Sydney reading her daddy to filth. She's like, why every time Monique tell you to do something, you do it?
Mind you, Monique is still in the room. She's like 5
she's
feet
like
away.
5 feet away. Oh, there's a bug in here.
I'm like, girl.
So, and then she's like, you never had any time for me ever since you guys have gotten married
Fair.
and since mom has died.
Fair.
So it's revealed that their mother is deceased.
I wonder how long they had been together.
One thing about a Disney, well, this isn't a Disney movie. One thing about a Disney movie and a Disney adjacent movie is that they're going to kill a parent.
When they were like, we are thinking about buying this movie. Just to confirm, does a parent die?
Disney, is that required? Yes.
Yes.
They must be
I
dead.
see that the mom is...
the memo I sent you.
Yes.
The mother must be deceased.
Yeah, I see the mother's still alive. Can we unalive her? Thank you.
Can we fix that?
Can we fix that?
So, she's like, ever since you guys have gotten together, you don't spend any time with us. And then he makes a promise to her. He's like, look, as soon as we get back, I'm all yours.
I'm all yours, baby.
All the time in the world. Fair.
And then after that, we see Kat in her room. She's getting ready for bed. She's taking a Prefla. Yeah, the grandma. She's taking so many different medicines.
So many pills.
She seems healthy.
She
I'm not
literally
worried.
pulls out like 50 things of pills.
What are they for? I don't know.
When
She
I was
seems
watching,
very healthy.
I was trying to read the labels. I was like, what is this stuff?
Yeah, she seems very healthy. I'm not sure where.
Yeah.
But
at 67, that's a lot of pills.
That's a lot of pills.
Maybe 83. 67?
I mean, yeah, she's basically young.
Too much.
And she sees a picture of her and Gene when they were young. He was in the military. They were very much in love, and she's, still upset with how their marriage ended. And she pushes the photo down, and then she looks in the mirror at herself and looks at how old she's getting, and just like, ugh,
how haggard she is. I would like to point out that photo of them looked like it was from like 1921.
It didn't. It was not.
I was like, this photo should be of them in like the 70s.
Yes, I have another question. I was like,
maybe the 60s.
This time is not. But okay, so this movie came out in 2000.
So if the movie came out in 2000, they are 67.
2000.
So
1950s.
Let's say this photo was of them when they were 17. Okay, so the year's 2000. They're 57 plus 17. 1960.
Wait,
should have been I think.
Wait, the movie came out in 2000.
So the movie came out in 2000.
67.
They are 67. So 67 minus 2000. Oh, 1933 is when they would have been born.
1933.
Add 17 years. Oh, so 1950. Still, that photo was 1920.
Yeah, what war are we
so
talking
they
about?
were. That was not a 1950 photo. That was literally 1909. That photo. They look like World War II.
Like World War II. But maybe it's the Vietnam War. I don't know if sure that one.
No.
Uncle Kemp was in the Vietnam War.
Okay, but that wasn't the Vietnam War.
You don't know.
That was World War II.
It's black and white. But yes, it looks super old. It looked like he just got back from the boat.
And then it was in black and white. Did they have color photos in the 50s? I don't know.
I don't know when they started getting color. I think so. No,
anyway,
I don't think so.
The photo was too old looking.
Looked very old.
Ancient. Back to Kat. She's all upset that she's old.
Yes.
So then, next scene, she's in the shower.
The bath.
I must say, I always, even when I was a young twat of a girl.
Twat.
I don't know why I called myself a twat. Her in the bathtub, there was always something so relaxing and feminine about her giving herself the bath, like the sponge that she used. I was like,
aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it just always looked aesthetically pleasing. Mm-hmm. The way she was putting the soap, it was just like, oh, she looks great.
It's very much a come get ready for bed with me.
I will say they're both very attractive looking grandparents.
Yeah.
I thought they were
gorgeous.
Stunning human beings.
Actors, you gotta stay in shape.
But anywho, so she's in a bath bathing with the soap that is contaminated with the anti-aging formula that Willie has created.
Gotcha.
Um,
And she goes to sleep, and in the morning we see Gene, who's rushing. Oh, he's taking a shower, also with the contaminated soap. So this is the next morning. And Gene rushes out the shower to take Barry and Monique to the airport. They wanted to say goodbye to Kat, but she's still sleeping, and they're behind, so they must go. Cut to Kat waking up from her lovely sleep at 9 a.m. She puts her slippers on. She has a robe on. She passes a mirror and is shooketh to see a younger
core.
To see a younger version of herself.
And she's instantly like,
oh no. And then like, oh.
like the first 30 seconds, she's like bewildered. She's like, you're dreaming. This isn't real. This is a mirage. You took too many pills last night. It's okay. But then after a while, she's like, ooh.
That's it. I'm not going.
And then she's like looking at her butt. She's like, I could work with this. And then she like takes out 2 rollers. And then she's like, yeah, I'm hot again. And then she's
no questions asked.
She's like dancing in her moo-moo.
Forget about it.
She's like, this is great. She's like, I'm here for it. I don't know what's going on, but I like it.
God has sent me a blessing. I'm not questioning it.
No questions asked.
Then she heads downstairs. I don't. Still unbothered about what's going on. She's doing a little strut, and she gets downstairs, and the house dog Gypsy, doesn't recognize this girl, and it's just like, this is an intruder.
He's barking at her, and then so she's alarmed. She's
scared.
A bit scared, and then so she makes a run for it out the door. But once she exits the house, she locks herself out. Now, I don't know what kind of house the door locks automatically, but that one did.
Yes.
And she's locked out the house.
Some do.
I ain't never seen no house door that lock as soon as you open and close it.
Yeah. It's been a while. In modern time, in modern times, there are doors like that, but I don't know about doors back in the day. But yes.
So she has now locked herself out of the house, and now she's got to figure out what to do, where to go next, because children were at school, so she was home alone.
Mm-hmm. And while that is going on, Gene, who has just finished dropping off, his son and his wife, he's driving back from the airport, and he's speeding to the point where he gets pulled over.
By the po-po.
At this point, Gene is the younger version of himself, but he does not know that. He hasn't seen He hasn't seen a mirror yet. He's just driving, doing his thing. When this officer pulls him over, and the guy's like, "Do you know you've been speeding?"
And then he's like, "Oh no, I didn't know, officer." And then he's like, "Let me see your license and ID." So he takes out his license and his ID, and of course, it's a picture of an older man. But the officer is looking at this very hot and sexy 17-year-old. And
he's probably wearing the same clothes. So he's like, "This man, did you kill this man in this photo?
Right.
Did you murder this man?"
And then so he's like, okay, well, this obviously isn't matching up. So then he asks Gene, whose car is this? And he's like, this is my son's car. But of course the officer is like, you're 17. You don't have a son with a car. Right. So the officer is like, all right, step out of the vehicle. And then Gene is like, is there a problem here, officer? And he was like, can't you just like give me a speeding ticket and we call it a day? And he was like, oh, this is greater than a speeding ticket, sweetheart. And then he's like, who did you steal this vehicle from? He's like, what? And he's like, this vehicle isn't stolen. I just told you it's for my son.
Yeah.
And then, of course, 2000, a black guy getting pulled over by a white police officer. It's not going to look too promising. So Gene knows what's afoot. So he makes a run for it.
Wait, you have to say when he saw himself in the reflection.
I forgot. Sorry. I was thinking police brutality. Whatever.
Right.
So while he is talking to the officer has on sunglasses. And Gene sees his reflection through the officer's glasses. Then he makes a run for it because he knows police brutality, white man, black guy.
Also, he comes from
go.
the before 4 times. Like he's lived through the 70s.
Right.
So he's seen the worst part of it.
He knows the Jim Crow
I
era.
thought it was so funny. He was like, in my head, while I was watching this, I thought this was a Disney film. So watching it and being like, damn, they really just took off from the cops.
Like,
I was
wow,
like, damn,
what's
Disney.
the lesson here?
Damn, Disney.
So he makes a run for it. He is running through bushes and fences and
hopping.
neighborhoods and houses. And then ultimately he runs into Terrence, the loser guy that Sydney was talking to when she was at work, and his little friend.
Yes. And then while that's going on, Sydney is auditioning to be a cheerleader, and she does an audition dance to be a cheerleader. I was very confused by that.
Yes.
No hip hip parade. No,
go Tigers,
Let's
go.
go. It's literally
here we are to win the ball. None of that.
Nothing.
She's doing a hip hop dance. A horrible one, I must say.
I thought it was okay.
If you've ever seen Save the Last Dance,
no,
and she's auditioning.
It's not as bad.
You gotta let me finish.
Okay.
And she's auditioning for Juilliard. think that, but it being done by a black person, so it's a little bit better.
But minus the ballet. It's no mixer of ballet and hip hop.
It was still cringy to watch her.
It was better.
There was one part where she like, oh god,
She makes that face.
She's like,
Yeah.
it was horrible. It was horrible. I was like, oh my god.
Don't look that into it. But nonetheless, it is a dance routine for a cheerleading tryout. Maybe that's why she didn't get it. But
and the judge, for whatever, I hate when they do this. I was like, this isn't accurate to life. But the judge, I guess, is Ashley, the mean girl, popular girl in school. She is judging the tryouts. And she basically, I guess, is the captain. So she has the final say on who makes it and who doesn't. Even though in reality it should be
the team
coach, not the team, the coach.
Yeah, the coach. But it's only like 5 people sitting there judging. So if anything, it would have been like a group decision.
And then also at the tryouts, sitting behind Ashley is her brother Todd, which is Sydney's crush that she saw in the store when she was at work.
Yes, and he's like, "Oh my god, you did great. You're in." And Ashley's like, "Whoa. You're not in. The door's that way."
Yeah, so ultimately, Ashley being the hater that she is, she does not select Sydney to be a member of
Why didn't she like her already?
Squad. She sensed an attitude major. Hello.
She did have an attitude because they said her name wrong.
She was like, Sydney Donovan. Donovan. I don't know, like, okay.
Like, you just got here. Calm down.
Right.
But also, like, how you said that word.
How do you mispronounce Donovan?
She said something crazy. It was like, that's not even on the paper, girl.
She said like Donovan.
Right. It was crazy. So Sydney exits and
she's upset.
She walks out angrily.
And she's not fitting in. Right. And she hates it here. And she wants to go back to California.
Don't we all? And then right after her, Todd goes and he talks to her. And he's like, don't give up. I'm gonna go talk to my sister and I'm gonna make this right because I think you're amazing
and I'm into you and I want to date you.
Yes,
basically. And then Sydney, having the stank attitude that she has had throughout this entire film, is like, I don't need your help. I can fend for myself. Yeah. And he's like, okay, fine. Excuse me.
Why is she so mad?
Because she is what is she, like, at least a junior in high school? She's been uprooted from her life in California to move to Connecticut.
But like, people being nice to you. She's lucky to have Julie as a friend already.
I mean, I guess.
She's only been there for 2 weeks.
That's how long they've been there?
That's what they said. That's what Wikipedia said. She's only been there for 2 weeks.
According to Wikipedia, yeah.
She's just got
been there 14 days.
Yeah. She's doing well.
Oh my God.
She's got a crush. She's got a friend. She's got a mansion.
2 weeks. They're way too acclimated to be.
Which I can see why she's still so mad because she just got there. She's like, I'm still like. Pissed.
Can you imagine moving in the middle of high school?
That's rough.
That's like one of the worst things you can do.
It's rough.
A child.
Just
let her finish out high school in California and then go off to college.
Either goes one of 2 ways. I am the biggest loser or I'm the new kid that's super popular. Hello. I'm here to bring freshness.
Only when you're a guy that works. It doesn't work for the girls.
I don't know. And what's that movie that you love so much? Can't Hardly Wait. Jennifer Huston, she was a new girl and everyone loved her, right?
They did. That movie goes against everything I believe in. Because it's set in one single night, and you know I hate movies like that. She becomes popular, but she was a freshman though. That was freshman year when she came in.
Oh,
yeah.
So
she had time to build her reputation.
Oh, okay, but
she became popular because the hottest guy in school wanted her.
All right,
and that's how that works.
It is. That is how that works.
The hottest guy in school wants you instantly popular.
Right. This is true. So after Sydney tells Todd to go away, he goes away. And then boom, that white boy from earlier comes up. What's his name?
That white boy from earlier pops up.
What's his name?
Terrence.
I didn't know he had a name. Terrence pops up.
Because she was like, bye, Julie. And he was like, my name's Terrence. But that's
Does he?
Yeah.
My name's Terrence.
When she was leaving her shift. Bye, Julie. My name's Terrence, but that's all right. So Terrence pops up being a creeper and he like whispers something in her ear and he's like, hey girl, what you doing? Or something like that.
She's like, please leave me alone.
And then Sydney makes a run for it.
Yes. So Kat, who has made her way to Sydney's school looking for Sydney, to like figure this whole situation out and, get back into the house. She immediately bumps into these bullies. And the bullies are not into it.
They're like, you trying to go? And then she's like, excuse me? She was like, did you just diss me? And then her flunkies are like, she totally dissed you. Straight diss, man. And then she's like, what?
She has no idea. She doesn't understand the lingo.
And then she's basically like, says something this like, look, I'm sure you're upset. You probably failed an English test or something.
Wait, that's hilarious because she's like, I don't understand what you're saying. You probably suck at English. Shady. Oh, that's shady.
And then the bully is just like, you want to go? And then she grabs Kat by like the collar. And then at this point, Kat, being the elderly lady that she is at heart, is fed up. And she's like, remove your hands off of me.
Unhand me.
And she's not picking up what the bully is putting down. She said, I'm sure your mother raised you to be much better than this. And then she's like, you need to get to class or something like that.
She calls him a hood rat.
She does not call her a hood rat.
She calls him a hood rat.
No, maybe a hoodlum.
I wrote that down. She
calls him a hoodlum.
She calls him a hood rat.
Not a hood rat.
I think she does.
Oh, God.
I think she calls him a hood rat. I wrote it down.
I think she says hoodlum.
Okay. She calls him hood something. Hoodlum or hood rat.
It's got to be hoodlum. But ultimately, Kat calls the bully a hoodlum, which of course enrages the bully. And the bully punches Kat in the face.
That's like that scene is a core memory. For me, I was like, oh my God, I remember she was punched in the face. You remember
what was a core memory for me? When Terrence talks to Sydney in the grocery store, and then she says something to the effect like, are you joking? He's like, I don't joke when it comes to matters of the heart.
The grocery store?
When we first meet Terrence. They're in she's at her place of work. And then she was like saying something like, are you kidding me right now? And he's like, I don't kid when it comes to matters of the heart. That line is like when he said it, I said it with him. Because I remembered the lines.
She's like, I know this one.
I was like, I literally know this one. But yeah, so Grandma Kat gets punched in the face.
And she runs to the bathroom to, see her battle wound. And again, she runs into another crazy girl. This one is an emo chick. And
she has like a piercing in her tongue.
Yeah.
And she asks Kat, she's like, hey, can you like put this back in for me? It's like crooked and I can't get it. And then she's like,
your brains became looseful, child. You need to go home and thank the Lord your mommy and daddy haven't kicked you out of your house. Looking like the devil himself. You need some help.
And then the girl, the emo chick, like, ifs at her. She, like, pulls back her fist. And then Kat cowers again because she's like, oh, my God, I can't get punched in the face again.
Not again.
And then she's like, when did teenagers become so violent? And then, meanwhile, while she's in the bathroom, Sydney is also in the bathroom stall, contemplating how horrible her tryout for cheerleading went. Mm-hmm. And then Sydney's like, that kind of sounds like my grandmother. And then Kat's like, Sydney, is that you? So they hear each other, and then Sydney emerges from the stall to find that her grandmother has been morphed into a 17-year-old.
Shocking.
And she passes out.
Yes, can't blame her. And then back to Gene, who is, he's running to Terrence and his, Terrence's friend's name?
No. Just no Terrence.
Just no Terrence. Terrence has a black friend, and they're like, yo, 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 yo.
Yeah.
And they're like mad with Gene because they ran into their bikes and he messed up their bikes, and they drag him somewhere to wake him up, and they're talking about, hey, yo, don't do that.
You ran into my bike, yo. It's
Period.
not like it's a BMW. Relax.
Yes. And at this point, a girl comes up and she's like, oh my God, I saw what happened. Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And the boys realize that Gene is like a ladies' man.
He is a chick magnet.
And they can use this to their advantage.
So they take him under their wing.
Yes. They invite him back to their house. Gene happily accepts because he sees like cop again. He's like, I gotta go lay low. So while that's going on, back at the house, Kat and Sydney are home from school, and the police officer from earlier has arrived, and he's asking about Gene and the car situation. And in the background, we see Kat dancing and being super young, and she's so excited.
She's playing loud music,
yes.
Like she's rump shaking her butt. And then so the officer's at the door and he asks Sydney, he's like, is there adult supervision here? And then that is when Kat comes to the door and she's like, it's me. And the officer is very confused and he's like, y'all are twins. And then Kat's like, I'm her grandmother. And then Sydney's like, excuse her, officer. She's a little out of it. This is my twin. You are correct.
Yes.
And then basically they ask him, what's all of this about? Why are you here? And then he was like, well, I found this car that was registered under your father's name, but a young man who didn't fit the identification of like the description of the license and the ownership of the car was driving it. And then they were like, well, can you describe what he looks like? And then, of course, the officer describes Gene. And then they have now realized that Gene, too, is now 17 again.
Crazy man. And shock. And then the next scene, we see Kat has whipped out everything in the kitchen. She's eating a full meal.
She's got like the hot sauce. She has ribs. She has ice cream. She has like a burger. She's like cornbread, macaroni. I was like, where do we get all of this food?
Where does this fit?
But she pulls all of it out and it's literally all sitting out on the dining table and she's eating all of it. And then she's basically like, I haven't had dairy in 5 years. I haven't had red meat in 10 years. Because I guess that's why she's taking all the meds.
Maybe so.
Because she's not able to eat nothing.
Her body's all messed up.
And, her body's all out of whack. And this is the first time she's able to consume, decent food in the last 5 years.
Right. We've all been there, right? And then Willie comes in. He's asking Kat about the medicine that she'd take, and he's done research, and he's like, none of that would have triggered this, obviously. And he was like,
he asked her about all the meds.
yeah, he was like, I went through all your meds, and I don't think any of that made you young again. Like, obviously, dude. And then he whips out the soap, contaminated soap, and puts it to her face. And he's like, did you happen to use this soap? And she's like, yeah. I took a bath with it this morning, and then your grandpa probably just showered with it. And he's like, light bulb, this is what happened. And
he explains all of that to Sydney. He's like, look, this is the anti-aging formula that I was using, and it got spilled on the soap. Yes. And that's how Grandpa and Grandma got turned young again. And
I'll need to run some more tests, figure out everything.
And then so ultimately they realize that next step, they need to find wherever their grandfather is. And then Kat is basically like, well, if he's young again, he's probably out there in them streets because he loved being young and fun and hip and cool. And then basically she's like, if he's young again, he's definitely outside in the streets taking advantage of it. Because, she know her man.
She accurate.
She
very accurate. Like,
because he is doing that.
Yes. So that night, Sydney and Kat have like a girls' night in while Willie's in the garage doing all the heavy lifting. he's working hard.
I mean, he the reason they in this situation.
This is his fault.
You're right. He gotta dig himself out of it.
So while they're hanging out,
what's Sydney supposed to do?
I don't know. Someone watch him.
Right.
Sydney asks Kat, "Hey, what happened between you and Grandpa?" And Kat's like, and Sydney's like, I don't see what the problem is. Grandpa is so young and hip and he's fun. And Kat's like, no, he's a selfish fool. And he's always been one. And she doesn't give too much information about that, but clearly she's still mad about him. She thinks he's an idiot. And I kind of have to agree with her.
Agree with who?
I have to agree with Kat a little bit.
Why?
Because, Jade, this man turned 17 again, and you think the first thing he would do would be to go home and figure this out. This man is running the streets with 17-year-olds, not concerned what's going on, not concerned if his family's worried about him. He didn't even call.
I guess you got a point there.
It's kind of messed up.
Well,
he's not even bothered by the situation. He just happened to be young again. No questions asked. I don't care who this affects.
He's fine. I forgive him. He's gorgeous.
That's terrible.
He could do no wrong in my eyes. Have you seen that man?
Oh my God, I can't
he's
stand it.
Touched by Jesus Christ himself.
So Kat changes the subject to, again, why she hates this town. Can you pop off her penis? She's only been there for 2 weeks. She's a teenager. Of course she hates the place.
Yeah, they're really not giving her much slack.
Yes, they're not. And Kat's basically saying.
But I will say she is a little angry.
Can you blame her?
But I would be angry too. Yeah. Fair is fair.
But Sydney's basically like, this new town is boring. I mean,
and she was basically like, yeah, everyone was so lively and spunky and outgoing in California, and she was like, it's nothing like that. I know, it's just so fast. You swear to God, they was in New York. I was like, ugh.
She better have been. I guess she was from LA, so
it has to been. Yeah.
So I mean, I can't blame her.
But cut to Jean, who is at the mansion of which Terrence lives in. Everybody in this film lives in a mansion.
Yeah.
I
And
guess.
his parents-
In Connecticut, everyone has to have a 7,000 square foot home.
Mm-hmm.
So Gene is at Terrence and his little black friend's house. And what are they playing? Video games or something?
No, well, they arrive. Terrence is like, I don't know where my parents at. So it's that kind of vibe. At this point, Gene's like, okay, can I use your phone? I need to make a call. This is the point where I'm just like, F this guy. He goes, he looks himself in the mirror, and he's like, dang, I look good. The phone is ringing. He hangs up. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna
He's
live
like,
with
you
this.
know, I'm gonna milk this.
I'm gonna milk this.
just a little bit longer.
I hate that. And then the guys are basically like, you know what? You can stay with us, you know, for however long you need, because you know they want to use him to get ladies. So the next morning, Willie has done experiments. He's used his dog Gypsy, and he bathed Gypsy with the soap, and he's shocked to see that Gypsy is now a puppy. And you know we're developing now. He knows for a fact that the soap is the reason why they're 17 again. And Sydney heads off to school and lets Willie stay home so he can find a cure for the grandparents. Honestly, if I was Sydney, I'm not going to school. This is too much.
Yeah, I need a break. But anywho, so cut to, we're at the school, we're in the cafeteria, and we see the popular mean girl, Ashley.
Gorgeous.
Great tits too.
She's some nice boobs.
Great tits. So she's in the cafeteria and she's talking to her brother. They're talking about the senior dance and how Todd, her little brother, was supposed to get the DJ.
Yeah, one job.
He had one job. He was supposed to get the DJ. The DJ that they had was dropping out, and now they need to find a DJ for the senior dance, and Ashley was having a hissy fit. And then Todd's like, I'm on it. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Club Orange tonight, and they have a list of hot poppin' DJs, and we're going to check them out, and then we're going to ask one of them to DJ the senior dance. And he's like, I'm on top of it. And then she's like, okay, whatever. Switching the subject, Ashley asks him, so who are you going to take to the dance? And Todd tells her, I was thinking about taking Willie Donovan. And then Ashley was like, same question, new answer. And Todd's like, same answer, it's Sydney. And then she was like, absolutely not. You cannot go out with the new girl. And then he's like, I don't understand why you don't like her. And then Ashley's just a hater. She doesn't really have a reason.
I feel like she's obsessed with her brother, and it's kind of gross.
Yeah, for sure. She definitely wants to sleep with her brother. She has an Oedipus complex, but you know, make it brother and sister.
For the longest, or like because I haven't seen this movie in so long. At first I was like, oh, she has a crush on him. But then when I was like, oh, they're brother and sister, I was like, gross, girl.
Yeah, when I was watching it too, I was like, oh yeah, she doesn't like Sydney because Todd likes her and she likes him.
Yeah.
But no, that's her brother.
That's her freaking brother.
I thought the same thing too.
I'm like, girl, calm down.
Disgusting.
Ew.
So Ashley is pissed that Todd wants to take Sydney to the dance, but you know, him being a grown man, he gonna do what he want to do.
Period. So Sydney's at school, and Kat has also decided to show up at school. She's 17 again. Might as well, you know, see what the happening's about. She doesn't want to stay at home with Willie and help him do his science experiment. F that.
And so basically, they're telling everybody that Oprah helped her find her long lost cousin.
Simple.
If people ask, you know.
Yeah, as people ask.
Why does this girl have the same face as you?
Simple enough. So, of course, Sydney's not happy to see Kat there, and she warns her that, you know, school has changed a lot since you were in high school. And Kat's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've done this before.
Just reading, math, and arithmetic.
Yes. So, boom. The first thing she sees, I wonder if they showed this part on Disney Channel.
No, they did not. Because when I watched that scene, I was like, I have never seen this scene ever in my life. You think they showed that on Disney Channel?
But I don't know. In my head, this was a Disney original until I looked it up. I was like, oh, wow.
They cut that scene out.
Right, which is crazy.
They never showed that.
Right.
they would never. Showed that. That's a lawsuit.
So the scene we're talking about is in
sex ed.
Sex ed. It's a lady there. She's teaching teaching them how to put on a condom. On an erect penis.
Very explicitly, I must say. She's like, you take the condom and you take the erect penis and you put the condom on the shaft of the penis. I'm like, whoa.
Sydney's embarrassed. Kat is like, this is what y'all learned over here?
She's like, this is what y'all are learning in school?
Wait.
Penises?
How does someone just go to class?
How
do you just? I go to school here now.
We're just gonna pretend this is one of those schools where it's like
thousands of
people in the grade, 80 kids in the class. You don't even notice.
Yeah, which is crazy. But and then after that, they go to a computer class. Kat doesn't know how to work her freaking computer. She's begging it. It's not working. She's clearly an old lady. It's not really working out for her.
She's not acclimating to the new millennium.
Mm-mm. So Gene also thought it was a good idea to go back to school. So I'm surprised because he seems like a bum. He seems like he would, I don't know, be on the streets.
Right.
He's hanging out with his new crew and they're rapping. I'm gonna insert the rap because it's just
one of the worst you've ever heard. One of the worst raps I've ever heard in my entire life. Because old is new and new is new, and old school meets the new school. There you go, kids.
Right.
Kids think this rap stuff is new, you fool. Been doing this before you tied your shoe. New is old and old is new. And what y'all call new, I already been through. Whatever floats your boat. You mess with Gene and that's all she wrote.
Horrible.
There you go, kids.
Horrible.
And while he's rapping, he catches the eye of Ashley. She's like, I don't know what the hell he's saying, but that face. Is undeniable.
That face. That.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest.
That sounds familiar.
The producers.
Oh. Dang it. Yeah, anyway, she goes to introduce herself because, she's confident. Bless her. And
I would be too if I looked like her.
She's gorgeous. I mean, she's got the confidence. She's the most popular in school. She's got everything.
She's got the tits.
She's got the boobs. And she basically asks him out to the Orange Club that night. Which is another thing I thought was like crazy because she like whispers in his ear, assuming that it's something very sexual. I can't remember if they kept that in Disney or not. Because I'm like, ooh, that's a little.
I could see them keeping that.
They don't know what you're saying, but it's clearly something sexual.
A little whisper.
I'll go down on you and you'll never know what happened.
Something like that. So she asks them out to the Orange Club, and then so while the two are talking, Sydney and Kat emerge, and Sydney and Kat see Grandpa Gene as his youthful self for the first time.
Hottie.
Girl, if I was Sydney, I'd be like, that's him?
That's
Girl,
him.
you left that?
Right.
You tripping, Grandma. I know that's my grandpa and everything.
But damn.
But damn, he fine, girl.
Right. I ain't blind. That's my grandpa, but I got eyes.
Incest or not. So then, Kat walks up to Gene. Of course, they have their little petty exchange.
Kat is like, I gotta talk to that one. Ashley's like, who are you? Why are you talking to him?
And then Kat is like, don't worry about who I am. This was my man first, sweetheart, and I'm pulling rank.
But of course, Ashley thinks that Kat is Sydney.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she doesn't realize
yes,
that.
Yes, of course, right. Ashley thinks that Kat is Sydney.
Another reason to even hate this girl even more. Now she's not only she's scamming on my brother, she's scamming on my new man.
Right. So Kat and Gene go off to the side and they have a conversation, and Kat is explaining to Gene how they ended up like this. We all know the soap, yada, 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 yada.
And she tells him that Willie's working on a fix, and he's like, a fix? Why? This is why I don't like him.
Right.
What do you mean why? You can't just become
right. She's like, we can't stay like this forever. And he's like, why not? He's like, this is the first time in the longest time that I can wake up not having to worry about my age and be reminded of how old of a man I am.
You're not that old. Calm down.
And then
it's a hobby.
And he's like, do you know what this feels like? And then she's like, what? And he's like, booty.
I didn't get that part. I was like, is there a slang reference that I missed earlier that the new boys taught him? Because
it's like feeling old feels like booty.
I guess he was like trying to say it feels like ass. I don't know.
I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
So he is obviously reluctant and, anti let's get old again. Well, he's not on that bandwagon. And Kat's like, well, you need to get on that bandwagon. And he's like, no. And then that kind of ends their conversation and he walks off.
Because he's immature. Like, come on, dude. We clearly can't stay 17.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'd be like, give me 3 months.
But I just don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, where are we gonna live?
Where are we gonna live? So if I grow, I don't want to do this all over again. I don't. Where am I gonna get an ID from?
Just 3 months.
It's just too much.
Is all I need.
So Kat runs off and she's leaving, and Todd calls after her, but he's saying Sydney, and she's like, what? What do you want? He was like, oh, I want to take you out to the Orange Club tonight. And at first, she's, Kat's acting stank, but she sees that Jean is watching her. So she's like, of course you can take me out, baby.
I would love to go to the Orange Club with you, young man.
Young man. She gives him a kiss on the cheek.
A cheek on the cheek.
A cheek patel. She gives him a kiss on the cheek, and she scurries off proudly. And yeah, she says, I'd love to go to the Orange Club with you. Okay. So that night after school, Gene is at the house with his new friends who are playing video games.
Terrence is his little black friend.
Yes. And Gene is trying to get them to go out, stop playing the video games. He's shocked that they don't want to go out and experience life. But hello, this is a new generation. We want to stay inside. We want to play video games. I'm sure Facebook is coming up around. I don't know. Like, no one wants to be outside, too. Also, they're losers.
I'm weak.
So, at this point, he's like, starting to see like it's not all what it's cracked up to be. He doesn't seem
17 again.
Right. He's not excited to go out with this 17-year-old, which is, may I say, 67-year-old scamming on a 17-year-old.
I mean, if you think about it, Kat's doing the same thing.
It's better when women do it. But yeah, so also girls. He did it first.
It's not as bad when girls do it.
No, I take that back. It's so horrible. But I don't know. Gross. What do you really think about it?
He's not as excited to go out with this young hot thing.
Mm-hmm.
But back at the house, Sydney's on the phone with Julie, who is checking to see if she's going to the Orange Club that night as well. But Sydney says that she is not. Meanwhile, Kat is in the background getting dressed to go on her date with Todd. But unbeknownst to Sydney is not aware that Kat is going on a date with her crush. She just knows that she's going on a date to the Orange Club. So Kat's getting ready. She comes downstairs in this little black dress. She looks really pretty. And then Sydney tells her that she has basically become her new best friend.
Yeah, which is so sweet.
Yeah.
I want to point out in this scene, Kat, Tamera, of course, looks beautiful. But I don't know. Tia looks gorgeous.
It's the way her hair is like silked back.
Her hair is
she
so
looks
cute.
Stunning.
Her hair and her outfits in the movie are so cute.
It's her hair.
Her hair is so cute.
Her hair is so cute.
It's very 90s.
I thought that too. Oh my god.
Or 2000s.
It is.
Y2K as the kids call it now. But it's very cute. She looks gorgeous throughout this whole movie. They both do. But it's Kat or Tamara is being like more like old, but Tia is being like, she's like with the times and like she's very much dressing the way they're supposed to dress during this time, and she looks gorgeous, honey.
So they're having a little moment. Sydney tells her grandmother, like, you're becoming my new best friend. And then her grandmother's like, let's just hope you still feel that way when I'm old.
Probably won't.
So then Sydney makes her way to the door because Todd has rung the doorbell and she is going to go answer it on Kat's behalf. But when she gets to the door, she sees that it is Todd and she is baffled and she slams the door in his face. And then Kat is like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
and then Sydney's like, you can't go on a date with him. And she was like, yes, I can. She's like,
Yeah,
I can't play with this 17-year-old boy's emotions. She's like, I'm going on the date. But then Kat makes the realization that this is a boy that Sydney likes.
Yeah.
And
obviously.
she's like, oh, I see now. And then Kat comes up with a plan and she's like, well, look, I'm still going to go on a date with him. You get changed, put on something nice, and then you come down to the Orange Club, and when the time is right, we'll switch. And so you can become his date for the evening.
Yes.
And then Sydney kind of reluctantly agrees, and she's like, but I don't have anything that you have on. And she's like, but you have something slinky and black, and that'll be fine.
All right.
And
She said, if you can tell the difference.
Like, and if you can tell the difference, you never had a shot with him in the first place, i.e. he might be gay.
Okay.
So Sydney agrees, and then Kat makes her way to the door to meet Todd.
Yes. So first, Todd sees her. He's like, oh, dang, you changed fast, because didn't I just see you in some sweatpants? Don't worry about that, child. So Kat and Todd arrive at the Orange Club, and the club is jumping. It's popping. People on the dance floor, they're dancing.
Very
the music.
cool looking club.
Very cool. You know what
It looks like the background to like a 90s TLC
Yes.
like music video.
You know what I hate about movies? They make it seem that teenagers can
Do
just
this.
go to clubs.
Like, we can just go to a club.
We can be 15 and go to the club.
Yeah, like, we're going to the Orange Club. No, we're
No, you're
not.
not.
No, you're not.
No,
You're not doing anything
No.
of the sort.
Yeah, why do they do that? Why do they pretend like we need to be at the
Yeah,
club?
like we have access to this.
Yes.
At 17, no.
I hate those ones. It's a house party.
The
It's a
best
house
you can
party.
do is buy alcohol with a fake ID.
Then
That's
go
the
to a house
best.
party.
And and a house party. We're
You're
not
not
going to the club.
You're not going to the club.
We can't get in.
You can't get in. And no one wants you there.
And there's
Ew.
no such thing as an 18 and older club.
That is a sock hop.
Yes, that's not real.
And you age out of it at 18.
And even then, they still can't get in because
Right.
they're probably only 17. But anywho.
And also there is Jean and Ashley, who are on the dance floor, cutting up, throwing ass. You know how they do.
You know how that goes.
So Kate and Todd, they go off to a little section by themselves. I think Todd is out getting drinks. When Julie shows up, she's like, "Hey, girl, I didn't know you were coming tonight." At first, Kat is like, "Hi, who are you?"
Do I know you?
Right, and then she realizes, she's playing Sydney. She's like, "Oh yeah, hey girl, love to see you here."
And then Julie and her are having a conversation, and basically Julie says something to the effect of like, "Oh, do you think your soulmate is here?" or something like that.
Mhm.
And then Kat looks longingly at Jean, and she says, "You know what? I think he is."
Aw.
And then Todd comes up, he sits down, he returns with their drinks, and then Julie's like surprised to see that Kat is there with Todd or
Yeah.
Sydney. Well, she thinks is Sydney.
Mhm.
Is surprised to see that these two are together, that Sydney/Kat is there with Todd.
Yeah, because you didn't tell me that, and
Because you told me you wasn't coming.
you told me it was coming. You
But
surely
not
didn't
only
tell
did
me.
you show up, but you showed up with Todd and
Your
you ain't
crush.
tell me, girl.
You're a crush, girl.
What kind of
Okay.
friend is you?
Okay. So they're hanging out, and at this point, Jean and Ashley stop by, and he's like, "Sydney?" And she's like, "Guess again, baby. It's me, Kat in the flesh." And he's like, "What are you doing here? Boy, the same reason why you were here. The fuck? Get out my face."
Be for real.
Be for real. And of course, Ashley's jealous. She's like, "Why are you guys talking? Did y'all have a thing at your old high school? If y'all did, let it go. Because this is my man now. I met him 10 hours ago, and we're in love.
Period.
I own him."
Literally, that's the energy
I own
that
him.
she is giving off. I own him.
Yes. So at this point, Kat has to make her point. She takes Todd to the dance floor, and they cut up. And as she says, "Look, I got $500 shoes on. I hope you can cut a rug. Let's go." So it's a dance off.
So yeah, Kat and Todd are dancing. Jean and Ashley are dancing. But while all that is going on, Sydney arrives. She looks great. She looks
Gorgeous.
amazing.
She's got a leather dress on.
Yeah, and her hair's like silked back.
She looks
She looks really cute.
dominatrix-esque.
So she walks in, and the first thing that she sees, which I feel like you can't be upset because they're on a date, like at a club. Like, what do you think was gonna
I
happen?
don't know. She was.
But anywho, she appears, and the first thing that she sees is Kat, her grandmother, and Todd dancing on the dance floor, and she's instantly upset and hurt.
Right. 'Cause you're 17. Your crush is dancing
I
with
can
your
understand if she was making out with him.
grandfather. She was very convincing. She knows how to catch a man, and it came off too sexual.
I feel like I wasn't looking that hard. I just remember them dancing.
Yeah, they were vibing.
What did she want? Because if she would have showed up on the date and acted like, as boring as a snail, then he wouldn't have been interested in her.
I guess. But
She had to, if y'all are going to make the switcheroo, she has to give you some sort of leeway.
it's hard to see your crush vibing with your grandmother. I'll just say that. just hard to get over, man.
Whatever. He thinks it's you at the end of the day
I
anyway.
guess.
And it's not like your grandmother wants him. It's
You
just
never
like
know. Your grandmother could be, just a conniving.
a conniving old You never even know.
You never knew.
But anywho, so Sydney sees all this and she walks off in anger. And then Kat notices, and then so Kat runs after Sydney. And then, of course, Jean notices that Kat has now run
Upset.
off.
Mhm.
And so Jean runs after Kat.
Right.
How sweet.
How sweet. But at this point, Sydney's gone. Kat's trying to find her, and Jean's like, wait. Let's have a conversation. Or something. He wants to talk. And Kat's like, I don't want to talk. I need to find Sydney. So they make it outside. They hear the music of jazz, the sweet sound of jazz.
She's like, where's that music coming from?
Maybe Sydney went in here.
Maybe the club. Right. You're standing next to.
And then she's like, maybe Sydney went in here. She did not go in there. She went home. She didn't go She's upset. You think she went to another club? Too much. So they go in, and this place is, more their vibe. They do a cute little jazz number with a finger in the air and a little hopscotch.
What you call that? Swing?
A little swing.
Is it swing?
A little swingers dance. I think so. A little swing. They're swinging. They're throwing people around their hips and
they're doing
jumping.
That dance.
Yeah, you know
that like Nat King Cole. That like Frank Sinatra vibe.
Yeah, which I thought but since we went over, I was like, is this
no,
too
it's
old
not
for
accurate to their time. It's too old
either.
for them.
I think it is
they need Motown.
Yeah. I don't know where everyone's dancing to. I don't think anyone danced like that from their time period. But anywho,
they're cutting a rug on the dance floor. They're vibing. It's giving, old flame. And then Kat's basically like, okay, that's enough.
Right. Then a slow song comes on, and Gene's like, do you know what this song is? She's like, this is our song.
It's our song.
Kat, come on now, baby. Don't cry. You're gonna ruin your makeup. You look so beautiful tonight.
Oh, you mean because I'm young, Gene?
No. The truth is, I always think you look beautiful. You're right, Kat. I mean, I just been fooling myself. Just pretending to be something that I'm not. God, I missed you, woman. I missed you.
And then he kisses her. But Kat pulls away. She's like, this isn't real. None of this is real. You only like me because I'm 17 and you're 17. This isn't real.
And then, so she says something. And then she brings up basically why they broke up. She's like, and this isn't Australia. And I was like, Australia?
Right, so
what
random.
the hell are we talking about?
They don't really dive into the fact until later on.
Right.
Like, okay.
And then she's like, this isn't Australia. And then he's like, you're right.
I shouldn't have left.
I should have left for Australia.
And we're
I was like, what?
The audience is confused.
Us as viewers are like, what's going on here?
I was like, is she going to explain this Australia thing?
And we don't get much explanation.
Yes. But basically, she's still heartbroken about the whole Australia thing.
We'll always have Australia.
Yes. And then Kat runs out. Sydney, who's upset, has made it home. She walks through the garage, and Willie's like, hey, I know you're upset.
Girl, I forgot all about Willie.
Right. You know your parents is 17. He's like, can I have a moment with you, please? And he tells her that their grandparents and Gypsy have about 15 different lethal chemicals in their body. And if they don't find the cure, they'll slowly die. Because whatever chemicals in their body are affecting them. And
did we even talk about them bringing the dog into a puppy?
Yes, I did.
We talked about that?
The bath. I did. He turned into a puppy. I did. So
bad news for everybody.
Bad news. So
Really, bad night all around for Sydney.
So Willie needs to find this cure. Sydney's mad at her grandmother, but she's also dying, so that's a thing, and whatever.
Death.
So Kat finally makes it home. She's like, oh, I'm so surprised to see you here. Oh, you didn't think she was at the club? You didn't think she went home? So stupid.
Right.
You just thought she was at the club, huh?
So Sydney waited up for her, and Sydney is upset, that she ruined her chances with Todd.
I'll be so pissed.
But then, the two start like a deeper conversation. So she's like talking about how hard it is, being a teenager in today's age. You've got skinny girls on the cover of magazines, and then you've got these girls on these music videos.
So cool.
And then you're like a new girl in this town that you hate, and like Sydney's just like, it's just a lot. It's just hard,
Yeah, it is hard.
And then Sydney tells Kat that she
was like, you know what? You chased Gene away.
Sydney tells that to her?
Yeah, she said, you chased your husband away. My grandfather, the man you love, you chased him down the street.
And then
ouch.
That was the end of that. They walk away?
Yeah, that's as far as we can go. Okay. You pretty much end the conversation when your granddaughter's like, you know what? You broke up your marriage.
Dang. So then back at school, Ashley is confronting Sydney, who Ashley tells her, get this, to stay away from Gene because that's her man. Ashley said Gene is her man.
They literally met yesterday. They met in the last
Jordan's
scene.
notes. And she also tells Sydney to stay away from her brother.
So you want your brother and Jean.
You can't have both of them.
You can't date your brother.
You can't have both of them.
What is her obsession with her brother? He's not that great.
You
Also,
know?
are they twins? I don't know. They can be twins. I was like,
no,
maybe
she's older than
Yeah, she
him.
is
He
older than
does
him.
call her his
older sister. But I'm just like, girl, sit down.
Crazy.
Okay. That night, Sydney and Julie at work, and Julie is trying to convince Sydney to go to the dance that night. And she's basically like, if you don't go, then Ashley wins, and get your man, blase, blase. At this point, Sydney's like, you know what? I want to confide in you about everything that's going on in my life. And she basically explains the whole thing about her grandparents being 17 again. Julie's like, huh?
Julie does not compute.
Right.
She does not follow. She does not comprehend.
No. And then Sydney's like, Oprah, help me find my lost
My lost
cousin. And that's who y'all saw at the Orange Club last night. And she's like, oh, that explains so much. And everything's weird going on. And at this point, Kat shows up at Sydney's job, and she's there to talk to Sydney. And she's basically like, you were right. And you were right about what you said about me running off Jean. And she was saying that she was afraid to go to Australia and start something new. And she didn't want to tell him that he couldn't go.
So basically, he got a job somewhere in Australia. He wanted to go. And of course,
he's exciting, he's new, he's fun.
Yeah, he's young, he's hip. Being that kind of guy that he is, he's okay with traveling across the world for a job. But she was petrified. And so she said, you go ahead and I'll follow you. But she never did.
Never planned on it.
And then the next time, next day, she looking up and she filing for divorce.
Yeah, she said she told herself that if he loved her, he would come back. And when he didn't, she filed for a divorce.
Well, how are you going to say he will come back, but you saying, I'm going to follow you?
Right.
I guess she said, you go and I'm going to follow you.
And she wanted him to come back. It's that whole, you got to communicate, man. You have to communicate.
Girl, shut up.
You need to communicate with your partner. If you're scared to go to Australia, that's a big thing to say, let's move to Australia.
That is.
Like, ooh.
I wouldn't even be scared. The thing about Australia is they have crazy bugs out there. That would have been my number one
that's
fear.
True.
The snakes, the crocodiles,
the racism.
That too. The scorpions. Like, they have some of the craziest animals and creatures and species out there. I would not want to. It's really just the desert, and they've just built land
on it, right.
communities on top of it. I would not want to go there.
I wouldn't want to go there.
God,
either.
no.
Also, it's like, am I working? How much is the job paying? Because if I'm a stay-at-home wife, maybe.
I know, of all the places.
But then I feel like I have to get a job because I have to make friends. I don't know.
But anywho, that's why they broke up. Australia.
Yes. So she says she regrets everything and she still loves him, obviously. And then Kat's like, I don't want you to make the same mistakes as I did. And she wants her to go to the dance and tell Todd how she feels about him, that she likes him, so that she doesn't like lose out on someone that she, like, and it could be something else.
Wow. Willie's back at the house doing real work.
While that's going on, they're talking about freaking dances. Willie's back at home trying to make sure his grandparents don't die.
Trying to reverse, the fountain of youth.
You know what?
Here.
I don't think they told them that there was a possibility they were going to die.
Why would they tell them that? Of course not. I wouldn't tell them that.
I don't know. Maybe freaking.
Can you imagine if the parents came back and they were just like dead? Like the parents came back and like, yeah, they died. Can you imagine?
I would have been like, they killed each other. No, that'd be too crazy. But I
would have been like murder, suicide.
I would hope that they turned back into their old selves, because if they were still young,
their bodies,
like,
at least.
How do we explain this?
Yeah.
Ugh,
what
Jesus.
do you do with two 17-year-old bodies?
You go to jail.
Right.
You're going to jail.
Right. This isn't. Ooh, that's tough.
Yes. So while that's going on, Gene has had some, time to reflect on his recent life choices, and he realizes the mistakes that he has made of leaving his family, both in the past and currently, because he hasn't been home since he turned 17. Trash. And he's still at his new friend's house, and he says goodbye to them. He thanks them for all their help, and he still plans to go to the dance with Ashley in hopes of seeing Kat and reconciling with her. And then back at home, Willie, who's, doing the real work, he's able to find a cure, and he turns Gypsy back into, his regular size, normal age dog. and he, takes
Gives
off.
a golden retriever,
And he's
by
so
the
cute.
way.
And he's cute as a puppy,
such
too.
a cute little puppy.
So nice. And so Willie's off to the dance to, save his grandparents, to give them the formula, to, save the day. Which is actually so funny because I feel like his part in this movie is, it's
very minuscule, but he's
the reason
very
why
vital to
yes,
this film.
he's very vital.
We see him like three
times. And no one's asking about
Honestly,
him.
they really didn't even need his character. They could have really worked around it.
How would they have worked around that?
It could have been Sydney.
Who was the scientist?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like, we really didn't need him. But he's only in this film because that's their little brother.
But Sydney couldn't have had this social life and still find the
She
formula. That'd have been too much.
So is life.
So it's his life. Get it together, girl. Do it all.
Right.
You're not
You
the
gotta-
first one.
Yeah. You're not the first black woman to
We
be
don't
able
wanna
do
hear
it
you
all,
complain.
bitch. Yeah. Meanwhile, at the dance, Jean arrives with Ashley, and she warns him to stay away from Sydney.
By the way,
Which
stay
is
away from
crazy.
the girl.
And then Sydney and Kat both arrive, and Ashley is shocked to see that there's two of them.
There's two of them?
She says. Todd sees them, of course, and then asks them, like, okay, I see there's two of you. So
Okay.
who did I go on a date with last night? And then they explain the situation, and then...
In the Oprah way. The Oprah.
Yes, the Oprah.
The Oprah situation.
The Oprah story.
Yes.
That, Oprah helped me find my long-lost cousin. And then Todd goes and dances with Sydney, and then Jean and Kat begin to dance as well.
And Jean is like,
You were right. I mean, I've been selfish over the years. Only thinking about myself. I should have come home instead of giving you that divorce.
No. I shouldn't have asked for one. I'm sorry.
I let you get away, woman. I've had to live without you for 20 years. I'm gonna let you know something. I'm never letting you go again.
Neither am I.
So they both agree that they kind of want to work this out, amicably. And then before Kat, has a chance to really
bask in this
moment, she's like, "Ooh, I feel like I'm 67 again." Well, that's not good.
That's not good. I feel old.
And then she's starting to look faint. She's looking a little woozy. And our good sis passes out.
Because she took the formula first, so she's
so she was the first one. Jean got at least another 24 hours. But nah, Kat, her time's ticking. So she passes out, and then when she passes out, Jean's like, "Someone call the ambulance. Someone call a doctor, the hospital, anyone." And then Willie comes in just in the nick of time, and he's like, "Grandma," and he's like, "I have the antidote."
Yay.
And then
He's like, I need a bottle of water.
Yeah, we need a body of water. Jean picks up Kat. I would have been scared to do that in the pool just with the chlorine.
That's it.
I'd have been like, these
right.
chlorine chemicals.
Have we tested this out?
Right, with the antidote, this would have messed it all up.
If he was a real scientist, he'd be like, no.
Right. No. Not the chlorine water. But anywho, so Jean picks up Kat, and Jean and Sydney and Willie, they make their way to the pool that is in the school.
Oh, wait, no, you have to talk about what happened before they got there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So Jean picks up Kat and he's like ready to bring her to the pool. But before they can exit, here come Ashley talking about, no, you can't leave Jean with her. We have to talk. Sydney steps up and she's like, move? And
Or I'll make you move.
Ashley's like, no, make me. Sydney punches her in the face.
Socks her. To the floor.
I love this. I love this kind of karma. You usually don't
What's
get this.
the relationship with Sydney and Todd moving forward?
I was wondering
you've
that.
punched her sister
in the face.
His sister in the face.
Maybe he's like, yeah, I can kind of see it. But like, come on. My cousin
is passed out.
Passed out, and
you're
you're
being
like
kind of insensitive here.
so insensitive.
And you're like, no, you can't move. You can't get through. Like,
girl, what?
be for real.
Knock you out.
Yeah, the punch was well deserved.
It was.
I mean, we all know it was well deserved.
Right, but I'm sure he was like,
does Todd understand?
Does Todd understand? How
But
this affect the
anywho,
relationship?
We all make our way. The four of them make their way.
And Todd and Julie go. So I guess he's on.
Oh, Todd goes.
Todd go, and so does Julie.
Oh, so the 6 of them
make
their way to the pool in the school. Willie throws in. Was it a soap? Is it more soap?
I think it's the antidote. It might be.
He throws the antidote into the pool. The pool instantly turns into a hot tub. Everything's bubbling. It looks like it's hot and on fire.
Love it.
And Sydney. Well, no, not Sydney. Kat wakes up and she's like, where are we? And then Gene is like, this is it. This is the antidote. We got to jump in. He's like, are you going to come with me this time? And then she's like, of course. I'm like, you're not going anywhere. We're just going into the pool.
It's symbolic.
I was like, if she doesn't go with you, she's going to die. So, of course she is. So, the two, they hold hands and they jump into the pool together. And then they emerge as old people.
Yes, and also while they were down there, they were like making out and kissing.
Were they?
They were kissing.
I was not.
They were so cute. As they were turning old, they were down there kissing.
Oh, that's so cute. Precious.
Yes. And they
was Julie and Todd not like, what the hell?
Julie, when they pop up, Julie was like, "Oh, you weren't kidding about the whole your grandmother turned into a 17-year-old person."
Oh.
Now I'm sure Todd needs to be so confused.
Todd has to be debriefed on what just happened.
I feel like Julie would probably be more like willing to like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, the moon and the Mercury was in retrograde. Right. I totally believe how this could happen.
She's like, I saw this coming. But they're 67 years. Everyone's year old again. 67.
They're old people.
Yes. And cut to, they're back at the house. Gene and Kat are in the kitchen, and they are touching all up on each other. They're making up for lost freaking times. They're cutesy to the point that it's freaking annoying.
And Monique and Barry are back in town. They have returned home.
Shocked.
And Barry asks Sydney, he's like, what happened when we were away? And then Sydney's like, life. Life happened, Dad. Yes. Life. And he's like, okay. And then so while everyone's in the kitchen, everyone, one big happy family, Gene is like, what do you all think about a wedding in the springtime? And then Kat is like, oh, Eugene, this isn't what I think it means. Aww. And then he's like, yes, Catherine, will you marry me again? And of course she says yes. And the two are now engaged.
Love.
And now we're planning a wedding in the springtime. I give you Paris in the springtime.
And Monique, who's also there, she's very excited to plan a wedding.
And then she's like, oh my goodness, white dress. And they're like, no, peach.
Right, peach. And Sydney, and she's also happy when Sydney, offers to help her with the wedding, which,
Bonding. Because Sydney and Monique don't really,
Yes.
They're not really vibing, but now they will start vibing.
Yay, love.
As we move forward.
Yes.
In life.
And then while all this is going on, there's a call comes in. Willie's like, Barry, the phone's for you. And he's like, oh, I'm in the shower. I'll get it later. And at this point, they realize, oh, we forgot to take the soap out of that bathroom. And Sydney and Wally had to go stop their father from, turning
Not
17
Wally.
again.
Willie,
sorry. Wally. Sydney and Willie had to stop their dad from using the soap. And
when did he find time to get in the shower? He was just asking Sydney what happened.
He was not concerned. He was like, oh, they get married. Let me go shower.
He's like, oh, that's nice. I'm gonna go take a shower now.
He's like, I've been waiting
Y'all
for
getting
this.
back together? Oh,
That's
all
nice.
right.
Then that's the end, guys.
That's about it, yeah.
I want to say this movie holds up. No significant plot holes for me. I think this is a solid movie.
The plot was a bit elementary, but yes, I agree.
But in our head, it was a Disney original film.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty good
stuff.
I just couldn't get over the scene when they were talking about the erect penises. I was like,
What?
oh my god, this is in here.
Yeah, it's a Showtime original. It's that Showtime part. I mean, sex ed, everyone learns about it. It's not really
That's just so crazy
that they put that there. It's funny that she said erect penis. I'm like, oh my god,
Yes.
Vulgar lady, calm down.
erect. God,
But
Jesus.
what a fun movie. What a fun cast. Love me some Tia and Tamera.
Yes, we love Tia and Tamera. They're our spirit animals.
Yes. Sister.
And Josh is Taj. Loser.
Right. Never know how much I missed you.
We have a brother, if y'all didn't know.
Oh, yeah, we have an older brother.
Okay, well, this has been fun.
Don't forget to rate, subscribe.
Like, comment, review.
Yes.
All the things.
And we have a fun movie coming up next. I'm really excited for it to go along
and
with.
partnership with another movie that's coming out as of soon.
Think Pink. But yeah, I'm really excited for
Really excited for that one.
Yeah, so come back, you guys, in another 2 weeks and party hardy with us.
Bye.
Bye.